What is it that really magnetizes and ignites your man's masculine energy and draws him in? Today, we're going to look at 5 feminine energy habits that absolutely make your man melt and make you irresistible. Check it out. So tip number 1 is stand your feminine ground. And here's what I mean. As I shared with you before, masculine and feminine energy exist on a continuum. So your man can be masculine, but he can draw into his feminine energy real quickly if you jump in to your masculine. Standing your feminine ground means when your man isn't quite in his masculine energy, you actually double down on your feminine energy and it will draw him into his masculine, and that is highly attractive. A case in point, an example of this. On my very first date with my wife, Irene, I flew to Southern California for some business. I had met her in Southern Cal. I lived in Oregon. We were long distance for like 8 months. So the first date is after a month of meeting. I go to her house to pick her up, and she jumps in the car and she goes, "Where are we going?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. This is your town. Tell me where you want to go to dinner and I'll take you there." And in that moment, what was I being? I was actually shifted into my feminine. I was responding to her initiative, her plan, and what she wanted to do. That is masculine qualities, is creating a plan and being directive. And she was beautiful in that moment. She sat back in her seat and she was like, "Well, actually, you asked me on a date. I want you to choose the place." Now, I'm not from Southern California. I didn't know where to go. And so little beads of sweat started to form on my forehead. My palms started to get sweaty. And I was like, oh, I kind of flipped open my phone. I was looking for a place really quick. I was unprepared, not my finest moment. And she kind of jumped in and she helped a little bit. And she goes, "You know, Matt, I like sushi and I like Italian. Either one of those places would be fine. So look for one like that." And so I found a sushi spot and had 5-star reviews. I was like, all right, cool. So I said, "Well, let's go here." Pulled the car out of the driveway and we were off. But something shifted in me in that moment, because masculine energy loves the risk and the reward of taking a risk and achieving it. You see, because I picked the restaurant, I didn't know if she was going to like it or not. It was a risk. It was uncertain. It was way more adventurous. If she had just told me, "Let's go to this particular, let's go to Heroize sushi," well, less risk. I know she loves it. She picked it because I took her to this spot. When we got there and it was cool and I saw her face and she smiled, I felt this burst of like accomplishment of masculine energy. When we ordered the sushi and it was great, I said, "How was dinner?" She was like, "I loved it." And she said, "You made a great choice." Boom, I felt this burst of competence fill me up. My own masculine energy increased. Why? Because she wasn't willing to save my ass, jump in and be the masculine for me. She stayed grounded in her feminine energy. She had enough confidence and enough patience to let me lead, and that actually paved the way for the greatest love story of my life. Number 2 is to feel safe. Now, I know this one can be more challenging, especially if you've been hurt in the past or abused in the past or betrayed in the past. But here's what Francisi001 says, and I think it's brilliant. She goes, "A great way to be more feminine is to make yourself feel safe. If you have to consistently fight to protect yourself, more of your masculine side has to come out and the feminine will hide inside for protection." And that's exactly right. When you're not feeling safe, you're guarded. You're in fight mode. And that fight mode is masculine. And so the question is, how in the heck do you make yourself feel safe? Well, there's 2 primary ways, and this is a deeper topic than we can cover entirely in this video. But the 2 primary ways are, number 1, to trust yourself to choose the right guy. And number 2, to trust yourself to speak up when you know something is off. To rock the boat when you know the relationship isn't going in the direction that you want. So if you would love some support with that, I've recorded an entire video just on how to trust yourself. Because when you trust yourself, you can actually relax and enter into that state of feeling safe. I'll post that link in the comments or in the description section for you so you can check it out. But allowing yourself to feel safe allows yourself to relax and enjoy, and it allows your feminine energy to come forth. And the 3rd feminine habit that men find highly attractive: heroize him instead of criticize him. And here's what I mean. You've created an invitation. You've given him a micro mission or a goal, something to achieve. When he leans in to achieve it, when he tries to do something for you that he believes you want, even on a small scale, When you heroize him versus criticize him, in other words, point out what he did well instead of how he missed the mark, point out how he showed up instead of how he didn't show up, point out what you loved instead of what the small things you didn't love. When you focus on those things, you heroize him. You help him feel like a hero. And every man, his greatest desire is to feel like the man you want him to be in your life. Every man's greatest desire is to earn your respect, to feel capable, to feel competent in your eyes. That's what he wants. And so when you acknowledge him, he literally feels like a hero. You will see his chest puff out. He'll start to walk around like this. He'll kind of get that man strut going on, and you'll laugh because you know you've just heroicized him, and that's why he's feeling all good. Likewise, you criticize him, and he'll either get defensive or he will shrink down. And neither of those two responses build more connection between the two of you. So the more it doesn't mean you don't bring up stuff that he's done wrong. It doesn't mean you don't talk about things you want to fix. There's a time and place for that. But make sure that if you're wanting to amplify your feminine energy, give him that invitation. And then when he does it, heroize him, appreciate him, celebrate him, let him know how it's affected you emotionally. Gosh, I love this. It's made me so happy. And he will get that puffed up feeling, that masculine energy will raise up, and the attraction between the two of you will be at an all-time new high. So there you have it, 3 simple, powerful habits that can amplify your feminine energy. Number 4 is connection, and specifically connecting to other women. How often do you connect to other women? Do you have girl time in your life? Monica writes this, and she says, to me, the best way I feel that activates my feminine energy is going to the gym, and especially to Zumba classes. Those classes light me up. Now, what's great about what Monica's saying is Zumba classes, it's interesting. You go to the gym, and who's in those types of classes? Who's in the aerobics room doing classes together? Who's in the Zumba classes? It's 90% women, isn't it? Where in the weight room, it's 90% men, because the weight room is all about, can I get 10 reps in? Can I achieve this goal? Which is very masculine. The aerobics room is all about connection, and you're doing the Zumba class. You're not only dancing, you're getting out of your head, you're into your body, but you're also doing it together. You're doing the moves together. We are in sync. We are in motion. We're all doing this together. It ignites the feminine energy because that in sync coordination is a deep level of connection. Number 5 is wearing clothes and fragrance that makes you feel sexy. Janice writes, femininity? Feeling good about yourself, wearing sexy clothes, perfume, skincare routines, whilst also moving forward with self-improvement and work. And so really at the core of this is feeling good about yourself, wearing clothes that highlight your feminine curves, that highlight yourself in a way that makes you feel good about yourself. Wearing those fragrances that you feel good about yourself, that you know that if you go in for that hug or that kiss with that man, that you know that you're going to smell really good in that process. Feeling good about yourself helps you relax and helps you radiate that feminine presence you have. My question for you is, what have you found has helped you amplify your feminine energy when your man might even be wobbling and going kind of in and out of his own masculine and feminine energy? If you want to draw him into his masculine, what are the things that you do? Go ahead and post those in the comment section below. And here's to your amazing love life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.